Michael Gove promised Britain would take back control of its fisheries the moment it left the EU, but in the face of united EU opposition, the cabinet minister was forced to back down. The EU's chief Brexit negotiator Michel Barnier has announced Prime Minister Boris Johnson has lowered his Brexit demands on Brussels by asking for up to 60% of catches in UK waters back from EU fishing fleets. As he briefed ambassadors and members of the European Parliament this morning, Mr. Barnier said Downing Street had revised its demand down from 80%. The EU has so far offered the repatriation of only 15% to 18% of fishing catches. He conceded that it was unclear whether the divide could be bridged in the time remaining. However, Mr. Johnson's concession without a doubt marks a major climbdown on an issue both sides have stubbornly refused to budge on. It is also not the first time Britain has backed down during the negotiations with Brussels. Plans to take back control of the country's fisheries the moment Britain left the EU had to be abandoned in the face of united EU opposition in 2018. The backtrack was a significant blow to the ambitions of Cabinet Office Minister Michael Gove. Mr. Gove put repatriating control of fisheries at the heart of his post-Brexit strategy. However, when it came to negotiate the terms of the transition period, the UK backed down. Forced to accept some stability during a transition, Mr. Gove demanded a shorter transition period for fishing of just 9 or 10 months. He teamed up with former leader of the Scottish Conservatives Ruth Davidson to underline their joint determination to repatriate controls immediately. They said, "We want the UK to become an independent coastal state, negotiating access annually with our neighbours. During the implementation period, we will ensure that British fishermen's interests are properly safeguarded." Despite their calls, the EU made access to UK waters on existing terms throughout the transition period a red line of its own. The government had to eventually accept that the issue could not derail the deal on the transition, which was part of the withdrawal agreement. Mr. Johnson and former Prime Minister Theresa May were not the only Tory leaders to betray UK fishermen, though.